What if I told you the Chicago Bears just pulled the trigger on a move that could shake up the entire running back room? Could this be the breath of fresh air we've all been waiting for? Or is it just another dalliance in the endless search for a true powerhouse? We're less than 10 days away from the 2025 training camp, and the whispers from Hollis Hall are getting louder. Patriots and scoundrels have come and gone, but this is different. Are you ready for something that could rewrite history? Or are we just falling for another mirage? Before we dive into this whirlwind of change, hit that like button, subscribe for every post-pounding shakeup, and drop a comment saying "bear down" to show your support. Folks, this is not just any rookie we're talking about. This is Dian Henkins, the big bully running back from Texas State. Yeah, you heard me right. The Bears just made a move that has the potential to add serious muscle to our backfield. Picture this, an undrafted rookie free agent making waves. Before the pads are even on, lighting up the training camps and already impressing coaches. But what's behind all that hype? There's talk swirling among insiders that Henkins is not just here to fill a spot. He's here to prove that he belongs. And in a way, it feels like destiny. He's from El Paso, Texas, a place where football is a religion, a place where every yard matters. And this kid has a chip on his shoulder the size of Soldier Field itself. At 6'0" and 225 pounds, he's not just big. He's a battering ram, and with a vertical that can make defenders rethink their life choices. He's giving the Bears coaching staff something to think about as they formulate their game plan. As the smoke clears on the previous season, our running back room still feels like a jigsaw puzzle missing its most crucial piece. With DeAndre Swift being the elder statesman at just 26 years old, you've got to wonder, how in the world do we find ourselves in a room full of kids without that bruising presence needed to grind out tough yards? Henkins just might be the answer we've been seeking, especially when you consider the current setup. But there are shadows lurking Swift, dangerous shadows in the form of injuries and competition. Will Henkins rise to the occasion or buckle under the weight of expectation? In his 2 college seasons, he showcased the grit needed to bulldoze defenders, averaging 5.2 yards per carry one year, while nursing lower numbers when he didn't get the touches he was promised. Heck, he's shown he can command the game and help move the chains if given the chance. But can he break into a crowded backfield filled with familiar faces and unproven prospects competing for a limited number of spots? And how will he handle the pressure of being the focus of this young and hungry offense? The stage is set for a classic Chicago tale, mixing nostalgia and aspiration. And we all know greatness doesn't come easy in this city. Pain and triumph are intertwined in our history. Legends like Walter Payton and Brian Urlacher have walked these sidelines, and their ghosts still linger, daring the next generation to step up and fill their shoes. But here's where it gets juicy, Bears fans. What if Henkins isn't just a candidate for the practice squad or a temporary fix? What if he shines so brightly that he forces the coaching staff's hand, making it impossible to ignore his talents? Imagine the scenario where Henkins finally carves out a role not just as a backup, but as a pivotal piece in an explosive offense, shaking the very foundations of our past failures. But with every mark of potential comes the specter of failure. What if he can't deliver? What if he falters when it matters most, leaving the Bears scrambling yet again for a solution? Could this be another false dawn, one that revisits the heartbreak of past seasons? Folks, the clock is ticking, and we're just scratching the surface of what's to come. As we gear up for training camp, every day holds the promise of revelation, a chance for Henkins to either solidify his legacy or become just another name on a long list of what could have beens. What's next for this young powerhouse? Is he ready to catapult himself not just into the roster, but into our hearts? The suspense is electric, and as we're left to ponder this bubbling controversy, one thing is for sure, the Chicago Bears are not backing down from the fight. Part 2 is on the brink, and you won't want to miss it. Buckle up, because we're just getting started. Today, we stand at a crossroads, friends. A harrowing intersection of dreams woven in navy and orange, where every heart that's bled. For the Bears feels that unmistakable knot of hope twisted with despair. Let me ask you, what are we waiting for? Are we going to let the ghosts of seasons past haunt us into complacency? Because I'll tell you right now, I can feel the historical weight of every near miss, every gut-wrenching double doink like a shadow lurking in the end zone staring you down as we prepare to make another run at glory beneath the brimming skies of Soldier Field. Now, think about it. All those whispers in Hollis Hall, the strategists clashing over the roster, the coaches carving out game plans, the front office juggling trades like a circus act while dropping the ball in plain sight. Does anyone else see how this could crumble? I mean, how are the guys in the locker room reacting to the whispers about what seems like a reverted course? You can almost hear the doubts bubbling up like the wind whipping across Lake Michigan, sending chills down the spine of every player, igniting the old fires of competition, not just between us and the Lions, the Vikings, or those lovable loons in Green Bay who can taste our pain after years of dominance. And just imagine if this isn't the season where we finally put the ghost of 2006 behind us, the bitter aftermath of 2010, when Jay Cutler was mocked and shunned, leaving us to feel robbed of a greater glory, the burn of 2018 sinking in deeper. With every missed opportunity, but this time it's supposed to be different, right? Or is that just another comforting lie we've been sold at the bar on Day Bears victories? What's the plan here? Draft a greenhorn, or craft a champion and instill that winning pedigree, like we once did with the legends, the single-minded ferocity of Mike Singletary, the unyielding strength of Brian Urlacher, the game-breaking spark that Devin Hester added whenever he touched the ball? Are we ready to see an offense that will cause Asimov to write about the importance of our defense, the way they dictated the rhythm of the game, or are we doomed to build yet another monument to our self-inflicted wounds, trapped in an infinite loop of despair? I'm telling you, every one of us can feel that tension rise, like a perfectly thrown spiral sailing into the end zone. But can you hear the swell of that crowd grow, ready to embrace this year of reckoning or guide us straight into the fog of endless failures? It's right there, a shimmering mirage of a Super Bowl shining at us through grit and sacrifice, beckoning with promises that linger just out of reach. But here's the kicker. What if this season reveals a fracture within the team, a mutiny of sorts, as egos clash in the locker room like thunder, and the media fires up the speculation, causing the players to withdraw into themselves like a turtle withdrawing from a storm? What if, instead of stepping boldly into the light of redemption, we find ourselves once more spiraling into chaos, a dark abyss, with the fans grasping at what little hope remains like a lifeline thrown into the tempest? Are we set for another winter of discontent, clinging to the remnants of our pride while others, rivals stick with the scent of success, taunt us from their pedestals? UO414, WO430, UO431, UO43B, UO430, UO441, UO431, saying we can't turn this ship around. Are we on a fast track to the next round of heartbreak, or do we dare to believe that hallmarked history can shove aside this uncertainty? Can we see the future, not as a replay of our past, but as a new canvas waiting for that brush of glory, splattered with the colors of victory, the very hues that define the legends we've cherished for generations? Will we see our names etched alongside the greatest in the league? Or will we once again be left sifting through the ashes of what could have been, left wondering where it all went wrong, desperate to break free from this cycle of pain? Hold your breath, sharpen your focus, and let that anticipation pulse through your veins. This is our moment. But will it be a triumphant anthem of redemption or a pitiful requiem that echoes through the decades? You're either with us to ride the storm or bracing yourself for another collapse. But one thing is certain. This is the year our Chicago Bears will either rise or fall, and the question hanging in the air is more than a plea. It's a command. Are we ready for the truth to unveil itself?